Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. The man himself, my main man, 50 grand. One of Albuquerque, New Mexico's very own. Here he is, Angelo Leo. What's good, champ?
How you doing? How you doing, man? I'm doing good. Everything's good.
Yeah, nice to finally talk to you, man, and nice to meet you.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. Same here. I see all your posts on Instagram and all that. And you show a lot of love, so yeah, I figured I'd do an interview with you.
Absolutely, yeah, man. It's been a long time in the making. Me and you got a mutual friend and our boy Johnny. So I've heard a lot of good things about you through Johnny, and
Yeah.
I don't know what he told you about me, but
He said some good things. He said some good things for sure.
okay, I'm glad. I'm hoping it was good.
Right, right.
Yeah, man. I don't want to waste any time. I want to kind of just get into your fight. What happened in your last fight. You were slated to fight Stephen Fulton. Then they hit you with the okey doke, and they put you in there with Tramaine Williams, a speedy southpaw. So like, just talk about the adjustment you had to make, and what was that like on such short notice?
Right. So basically, we had gotten the call, not the call, but they had notified us like 3 days before the fight of fighting Fulton that Fulton got tested positive for COVID, and Tremaine was already on the undercard. He was the co-main, so they threw in Tremaine with me, and then they replaced Raiz with somebody else, and it was a little difficult at first. I was a little disappointed because all this time leading up to the fight, we're getting ready for Stephen Fulton, and they switch it last minute. So we had to make adjustments on the fly. It wasn't we didn't have much time to prepare. Everything. Good thing I was already sparring the southpaw during this camp. So I was not too rusty on southpaws. So we seen a few video on him. We seen what he had. We seen that he was very slick. He's very slick. They're calling him the next Pernell Whitaker. But one thing that stuck out to me the most was he liked to fight in the inside. He liked to bang, and I knew right then and there that it was going to play into my hands.
Yeah, man, and it did. Like it seemed like the first couple of rounds, it took you some time to get the rhythm down. But then by like the fourth round, I think by the fourth round, you really seemed to catch that rhythm, and you were in there, and you started to slowly chop away at that body and take the gas off the tank. Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, exactly. The first couple of rounds, he was pretty slick. He had a fast straight left, and I got tagged a few times with it. But after the third round, I knew what he was coming. He was starting to become repetitive. I was catching his timing, and once I caught his timing, he was on mine.
Yeah, man, it was one of the better displays of body punching and just breaking somebody down I think I've seen all year, especially at like that championship level.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's what I do. I work the body. It's no secret. But I also have a lot more coming, in my arsenal that I have to show people, and I have a lot to prove still.
Yeah, man. Obviously, the fight I know you wanted was Stephen Fulton. And, he's someone that even during your fight, he kind of comes off as like a bit cocky. Like he's very, I don't know if you want to call it cocky or confidence, but that's how he comes off to me. He comes off as a very cocky fighter. How do you feel about that matchup with him, and just how you match up with him overall?
Fulton, he's got his style down. He seems to be real confident, maybe a little overconfident. He is cocky, but it's nothing I haven't seen. We've all seen these kind of fighters before, and I'm here to win. I'm here to keep that title and do what I gotta do. He has a good jab. He has good movement. He likes to control the distance. Those are his main objectives that he likes to do in the ring is jab, distance, and movement. It's pretty obvious. And what I do is I hit the body, I go forward. But I got different looks. I'm not just a one-dimensional fighter.
I'm glad you said that, because that kind of leads into my next question. Every time I bring your name up around anybody in the boxing world, the consensus seems to be that Angelo Leo is a very good pressure fighter. He's very well conditioned, but he is a guy that can be outboxed. Do you feel like you have more tools to show in your skill set as far as pure boxing goes?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Pressure fighting is an art in itself. Boxing in itself is an art too, and I feel like people um, don't see that I could really cut off the ring. I have quick footwork and the ability to cut off the ring if I need to. I have head movement, um, but different fighters bring out different looks in you. So with Tramaine kind of being my breakout fight, not a breakout fight. I think my Cesar Juarez fight was a breakout fight, but this fight was on a national audience, and I was all eyes on me. So with that being said, a lot of people haven't seen my full capabilities yet, and eventually, with more fights as I get, they'll know that I'm not just a pressure fighter. They'll know I got different looks, I got angles, I got boxing abilities, and I'm still refining my skills.
I believe so. I think even though you got a title, like even though you're technically a champion now, I still feel like you're underrated. Because I don't know if you saw this, so I'm going to ask you about it. I don't know if you saw the ESPN 122-pound rankings, the super bantamweight rankings. Have you seen them? The ESPN rankings?
No, I haven't.
Oh my, it was ridiculous. They're borderline. They're very disrespectful. They had you at number 10.
What? They
had you at
weird.
Yeah, I checked it twice because I checked it once after the fight. Oh no! What happened was I was watching a fight on ESPN, right? And I think it was I forgot who was fighting, but somebody in your weight class on ESPN was fighting, and they flashed the rankings up there, and they had you at 10. I'm like, that can't be right. So then I came back a week later, and you were still there. So that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like even though you got a title, people still haven't really given you that credit.
Right. Yeah. I can't really tell why. I can't really tell.
Yeah.
All I got to do is keep winning and just keep proving people wrong. That's all I got to do. It could be, certain issues with the broadcasting. I'm not too sure about promotions and all that. That has a lot to do with it's politics. There's a lot of politics involved. So I can't really speak on that. All I do is go in there and prove people wrong and get that W.
Hey, I respect it, man. Now, like, I watched like a lot of your interviews, bro, and you're very quiet and you're very reserved. So I'm trying to peel the layers, man. I'm trying to get people to know about Angelo Leo. I want people to know about Angelo Leo. So like, I want to kind of ask you to take it back to when you first started boxing. Why did you first start boxing, and like what exactly was your amateur career like?
So I first started boxing when I was 8 years old. My dad got me into boxing. At first, I was into karate, and then they switched me over to soccer. That wasn't working out. I wasn't very interested in those sports. So my dad put me in boxing because my dad liked to box. He used to like to hit the bags when he was younger, and he introduced me to boxing. We went to the boxing gym. We talked to some coaches. They started coaching me. And then from there, I started racking up some wins in the amateurs and pretty much built my confidence. And I was like, I could keep doing this. I'm pretty good at this. So I just kept at it. With that, my dad was showing me boxing. We would watch boxing at home. He'd bring home boxing magazines like the Ring magazine and stuff like that. And, with that, he just, sparked my interest in boxing. From there on, I kept winning, and then eventually started going to national tournaments, and I started placing, not winning them, but I was placing in the tournaments. And my dad liked it, I liked it, so we kept doing it. And from there, the love for the sport just grew, and I had visions of, dreams of becoming a world champion, and that's how it all pretty much started.
Okay, so you wasn't really with the whole like Bruce Lee roundhouse kicks and all the kung fu stuff. You
No, horse stance. That wasn't for me. I was more about. At the time, I was real young. I was like maybe seven years old. So I was just thinking about playing and all that. I wasn't really like trying to. Because what it was my uncle was in karate, So I looked up to him a lot. So I would just follow his footsteps. So if he was in karate, I was in karate. If he was in soccer, I was in soccer. And then he was in boxing, and I was in boxing. But ironically, I'm the one that stuck with it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, man. I'm really glad you did. As far as like the early parts of your career, like, is it true? Because Johnny told me this, and I'm not sure if this is true. Is it true that like early in your career you were like the underdog in a lot of your fights, like even in your pro debut?
Yeah, it was. I was not slated to win. You could say,
Okay.
I was just like they put me in against tough competition. I wasn't the one like to be babied or to be fed, little Scooby snacks or anything like that. I was yeah, I was I was put to the wolves real early in my career, and which is good. It helped me. A lot of these fighters nowadays they get all these fights and they get their records padded, and then when it comes time to really fight somebody, they can't show up. And with me, I fought some tough competition in my early career, which helped me mold me for the pros. Mold me for the whole pro game, and that's pretty much what happened in my early career. And then I started getting some fights in Mexico, which helped me. They were tough fighters in Mexico, but they were, very one-dimensional, and I was able to take them out, all three of them.
Yeah, man. I like what you said about the fact that fighters get so coddled and baby these days. Like sometimes you'll see these fighters and they get 25 fights and they haven't really been tested. But
Yeah.
I guess in your case, it's a matter of the ring experience more than the actual fights.
Mhm.
What was there a fight? Was there a fight early on that people haven't seen that you could say like really welcomed you to professional boxing and got you prepared for the next level?
Say it again. My fights or fight?
Your fights. Was there a particular fight early in your career that really prepared you to step up to the next level of boxing?
Oh, it would have to be. Let me see. Probably my first and second ones. My
Really?
pro debut was a tough one because he was known in New Mexico. He was no pushover. He was making his pro debut as well. I was 18 at the time. I think he was 21, so he was a little bit more mature than me. Um, That one really got, really set the tone for my boxing. I was like, oh, this is the pros now, pretty much. Like when I fought those little 8-ounce gloves, I knew it was a fight. So that fight, my second fight was really tough. Had a strong Mexican fighter that just kept coming forward, and I had to adjust on the fly. I had to adjust on the fly because he hit hard, and I had to use my jab, box him, and work the body. Those two fights were the ones that set the tone for my boxing for the next fights to come.
Yeah, that's why I feel like you're gonna have a chance to really do well at 122 because it seems like the ring experience you've gotten in the ring under the lights and in the gym as well and sparring has really been top notch.
Of course. Even before I made my pro debut, I was sparring, Leo Santa Cruz, who else? Giovanni Segura. I was sparring a lot of pros at the time, before my pro debut. I was sparring a lot of top contenders, a lot of Leo Santa Cruz, who was a champion, and a lot of good fighters from wild card, all around the Los Angeles area.
Yeah. What about I heard you sparred Donaire. Did you spar Donaire?
Yeah, I sparred Nonito Donaire about 2 years ago. 2 years
Okay.
ago. He was getting ready for, I don't know who he was getting ready for, but he was just getting back into the gym, so he wasn't in full fighting shape. But you can feel the power, you can feel the leverage that he gets from his punches, and definitely a good fighter. Definitely a fighter I want to spar here in the near future as well too.
Okay, yeah, no, and Nonito's the future Hall of Famer. We got a question from somebody in the comments. My man L Dog, he says, big shout out to TSS and Angelo. I was picking against you in the world title bout, but you turned up and made me into a fan.
Hey, appreciate you. Thank you for that. That's what I plan to do. Just keep turning minds. Keep switching up the letting people know who I am.
Yeah, man. I remember the first time I saw you fight was Neil John Tabino. That's when Johnny put me on to. He was like, "Yo, my homie Angelo Leo, you gotta check him out." So I checked him out. I checked you out in the first fight. I was like, "Oh, he's cool. I don't know if he's what you're saying he is, Johnny." Then I watched the fight against Rocky Juarez, and that was the fight where I said, "Okay, this kid might be something. He might actually show himself to be, what Johnny was talking about."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep improving. I'm gonna keep improving. I feel like from the Tabino fight, I've improved a lot. From a year ago. Every year I keep improving. I'm not one to stay stagnant or plateau. I don't get too comfortable, and I'm just gonna get better and better.
Absolutely. Did you spar Gervonta Davis? I heard you sparred Gervonta Davis.
I did spar Gervonta. That was back in 2017, and that's actually how I got signed. Sparring Gervonta, I sparred 5 rounds, and Floyd was there watching.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it was good sparring. He hits pretty hard. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hear like he'll spar like middleweights or guys that are like 2-3 weight classes bigger than him. And he just parking these guys in the gym. That's what I hear, but I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. He just sparred what's his name? Redcatch, Ivan Redcatch.
Ivan Redcatch, yeah.
Yeah, he's a welterweight, so that'll tell you.
You said you got signed off that sparring session, so that would have to mean that you did really well in that sparring session, or well enough to catch the eye of Floyd.
Right. I believe so because after the sparring, I went up to Floyd and asked him, how do you think I did, or what I need to improve on, and he's like, nothing, champ. You're good. You're good. He just told me like that. You're good. And I was like, all right.
That's always good to hear from Floyd.
Yeah. So I took that advice with every advice he gives me. I take it and I run with it.
Well, when you mentioned him, what's that like whole dynamic between you and Floyd, that with you being signed to him? What's that whole dynamic like? And also, what's like the best piece of advice that he's given you so far in your career?
It's like we have a good relationship. He really cares for me. He really looks out for me. Right now, it's still kind of nervous being around him, because he's a world champ and all that.
Yeah.
He's TBE. So with that being said, I'm a little shy around him sometimes. But I'm getting to open up a little bit more. I go roller skating with him like every Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We go roller skating. I see him on the roller
Today's Sunday.
Huh?
Today's Sunday.
Today's Sunday, yeah. But today's my brother's birthday, so I probably won't be able to go today. Probably next week.
Okay.
I'll go. But he's cool people. He's real cool people. He's always showing love. He's told me just keep doing what I do. My work ethic, he said, is what's gonna get me far. He said, your work ethic, and it doesn't matter how skilled these fighters are. You can outwork them, and you got the potential to be great. He told me.
Oh wow, okay, that's definitely some high praise. Are you able to hold your own with him on the skating rink?
Nah, he's on a different level for sure. I'm still getting the hang of it. I'm still getting the hang of it a little bit. I know how to skate. I'm not falling or anything like that, but I'm getting it.
Yeah, man. Because have you ever seen the movie Roll Bounce?
No, I haven't. I have not.
There's a movie that came out a long time ago called Roll Bounce. It's about skating and what and I think I don't know if it's Nick Cannon or Eddie Griffin. It's one of them. But like Floyd skates like the people in those movies. So
yeah. I think I've heard that movie, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's on TV all the time.
Okay.
I know in your weight class there's a lot of big matchups out there for you. Somebody asked in the comments they want to know what you think about the potentially fighting the winner of Castro versus Christopher Diaz. Christian Castro, I think is his name.
Yeah, Carlos Castro.
Carlos Castro. That's what I mean. Carlos Castro and Christopher Diaz.
Definitely. I think that's a WBO eliminator, and I would love to fight either one of them, either the winner of them. So Carlos, I know him from the amateur days. We actually used to be good friends in the amateurs. We used to hang out at the regional tournaments and the national tournaments. We're always together. So I know him. I know he's a good fighter. Pitufo Diaz, I think Christopher Diaz.
Yeah.
He's he's a real good fighter. A real good counter puncher, and he's really powerful. So even that fight would be good too. I know he does have some losses against Shakur and I think a Japanese fighter. So with that being said, I have to study those fights and see what gives him problems.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to all these fights happening. I know years ago there was that sparring session that's online of you with Akhmadaliev.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it, and you look like you did very, very well in that sparring session. I mean, obviously, I didn't see the whole sparring session, but from what I saw, it looked like you did pretty well. How do you feel you match up with not just Akhmadaliev, but also Ray Vargas, the other champions in your respective weight class? Like, how do you see those fights?
I think me being the champion, I think I can beat them all. That's the mindset I have to have. And Murajan, he's a strong fighter. He's a southpaw fighter, but he is, he is beatable. He is beatable. I do see some kinks in his arsenal, and I think I could exploit that, as well as Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is a fighter that has been pressured a lot. He's been pressured. You can tell that all his fights they pressure him, and he knows how to get around that, and that's how his whole style has evolved through getting around pressure fighters, and he knows how to maneuver himself away. I think he uses his length really well, but there's things that his defense is a little leaky, so there's things I can exploit in him as well.
Yeah, man. And I think with you, probably I would say your best attribute seems to be the angles you take. You're very crafty with the angles. You're very good at creating openings. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah, I would say that. I'd say my ability to use angles, to use my jab to set up shots. I think all that, a lot of people say I'm real tricky in there. When they get in there on TV, you can't really tell, but when you're in there with me, I've heard that they can't tell what I'm about to throw. They can't tell what my timing. They can't catch me.
Yeah, well, I think it's better to be that way because people can have their perception on TV, but I never fought at the level you did, but just from sparring and being in the gym, I know that it's not always what it seems from the outside looking in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
True. True.
Yeah, one thing I know about you too, Angelo, because I talked to you that one time on WhatsApp when I was talking to Johnny. That's when I first talked to you,
right.
And I know you're like a boxing historian. I know like you love your boxing. Like you eat, sleep, breathe, drink, shit boxing. Like you love boxing.
Yes.
Which I think is great because a lot of fighters that are professional fighters, they don't even like boxing. They don't even watch boxing. So it's good to talk to somebody that does watch boxing.
Yeah. From ever since I was a kid, I've always been fascinated with boxing. I was always reading up on boxing, always watching boxing, always intrigued with the old school fighters. I'm just a boxing fanatic as well. I'm not just a boxer, but I have a true, genuine love for the sport of boxing.
I know, man. That's why it's good to have someone like you who's holding a belt and potentially could become the guy at a weight class. Because a lot of guys these days, even if they are fighters and they're talented, they don't love boxing, and it's kind of reflected in their attitude. So it's good to have somebody that truly loves boxing, that is a champion. Yeah,
exactly. You gotta love the sport, because you have a fighter that loves the sport of boxing, and like I said before, boxing is the ultimate truth teller. So, if you have a fighter, a kid that loves boxing, and someone that doesn't like boxing as much, it's gonna show in the ring during those hard times. When the going gets tough, the one that loves the sport, is gonna show out and bring out the best of them.
Absolutely. I wanted to pick your brain about some old school fighters, because I know that me and you actually have two favorite fighters in common, or I've been told this. So I want to confirm. I was told that you're a big fan of the great Roman Cholatito Gonzalez. Is this true?
Right, yeah. Actually, my dad is the one that put me on Chocolatito. I think it was like 2011 or 2012. My dad's like, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this guy. He's something else. And so I watched him, and he became my dad's favorite fighter. And then I was like, damn, this guy's good. His angles, his the way he moves, his body work, his relentlessness, all that was
balance.
Yeah, his balance is good. Everything about him, his defense was on point. He's real humble. That's everything I liked about Chocolatito.
I'm not trying to gas you up, but like with the way you fight and the way you kind of carry yourself, you kind of remind me of like the American Chocolatito.
Yeah,
like, he's humble, he's soft spoken.
Right. I've got comparisons with Ramon Chocolatito. I've got comparisons with Julio Cesar Chavez, Barrera. My last fight they compared me to Barrera. Barrera is one of my favorite fighters too. Those are some big shoes to fill for sure, because he was just aggressive. Duran, a lot of people say I fight like Duran too. All those fighters.
Would you say Roman Cholatito Gonzalez influenced your style in any way?
Definitely. Just his relentlessness, his ability to pressure, definitely has an influence on my style. I try to take a little bit of it, things from everyone. So you're gonna see some Chocolatito in me. You're gonna see some Chavez in me. You're gonna see some Duran in me. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, man. Hey, that Roman Gonzalez is my favorite fighter too. So you got great taste, man. You got great taste.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you.
I've also heard that you're a big fan of Riddick Bowe. Is this true?
Riddick Bowe.
No. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't really know too much. I don't actually even know who he's fought.
Damn. Okay, never mind. All right, so Johnny was tripping there.
Johnny be tripping sometimes.
He be tripping. I don't know what he be hearing, but okay. I know that you love Duran though. I know you love Duran.
Duran is one of them. Duran is probably one of my favorite fighters. Top 5 for sure. Maybe top 2.
Top 2?
Yeah, it's either Chavez or Duran.
Okay. Yeah. You got a favorite Duran fight?
My favorite Duran fight would probably be which one? Sugar Ray Leonard or Carlos Palomino.
Okay.
When he fought Carlos Palomino, he was just an animal there. He was just his feints were on point. The way he feinted Palomino, his head movement, his inside game was something else. Oh, that one, and was David Moore when he fought David Moore.
Yes, that's my favorite one. That's my favorite Roberto Duran fight.
Yeah, when he fought David Moore, he was he was a little older in his career, but he was still a beast. He had his rolls. He was hitting the body well, and basically the old veteran, took down the young lion pretty much. I think David Moore was like 24, and Duran was like 30 something. Yeah, but he just broke him down, and he just made him look like an amateur in that fight.
Yeah, man, he folded him up like a blue steel chair. It was easy work for him. He made it look easy.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, you're from New Mexico, so I'm not gonna let this interview go without bringing it up, man. Like, you put your name in history books, like Bob Foster, Holly Holm, Johnny Tapia, Danny O'Mero, Austin Trout. Your name is linked to them people because you guys like the select few fighters who have been world champions from New Mexico. So like, how does it feel? I guess how does it feel?
It feels good. It feels good. All those fighters. I've looked up to. I've watched a lot of Bobby Foster before. Watched Danny Romero. I actually Danny Romero just texted me a couple days ago.
Okay.
Checking up on me, saying how I was doing. He texted me before my fight. He just gave me. He's like, as far as advice, champ, you don't need no advice. You just go in there and you do what you do what you got to do. Johnny, my pro debut was on Johnny Top Gear Promotions. It was on one of his promotional cards. So I've met Johnny, and he's good people. Austin Trout, he's commentated my fights before. Holly Holmes, I've met her before. So all these New Mexico fighters I look up to, and to have that that I'm in the history books, it's a great honor to be a New Mexico legend for sure.
Yeah, man, that's something special.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. As far as you mentioned your pops earlier, and I've talked to your pops on a couple of occasions. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Do you believe, like, with you and your dad, do you feel like you guys first what's your guys' relationship, and do you believe that boxing has improved your guys' relationship as father and son?
Definitely. Our relationship is surrounded around boxing. So that's boxing is our life for the most part. It's really it's tough at times, because he is my dad, but he's also my coach. So I gotta know how to flip the switch. When it's time for me to be my coach, when it's time for me to be when he's my dad. So that could have some troubles here and there, but for the most part, it's good. We're real close. But boxing, is basically what keeps us together.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you see these father-son dynamics, and they don't always work out. So it's always good when you actually see one that seems to be working out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. Like, one thing that that I think is your best attribute is that, like, you don't get tired. You seem to have, like, really good stamina. What the hell you be doing in the gym, man? Like what do you do in the gym to be in such great shape for these fights? Like,
it's the running. It's all in the running. It's running. It's running the mountains and all that. It's sparring 12, 14 rounds, all that right there. Another fighter I look up to is Salvador Sanchez.
Oh, the great Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador Sanchez, because his conditioning was like no other. He could be in the 8th round, and you see him with his mouth closed, just breathing like nothing, like it was the first round, like he's not even, like it's cakewalk for him. So that's another fighter I look up to, especially in his conditioning. But yeah, it's all in the running, all in the sparring.
Yeah, I know you love your running, man. I know you love to run.
Yeah, 5-6 miles.
Do you run? So, like, do you just run on the streets, or, like, do you sometimes run up mountains, or, like, how does that work?
Yeah, both. I do both. Usually on the weekends we'll go to the mountains and I'll run 5-6 miles up the mountain. But for the most part, I'm running on the flat, on the track.
Okay. I know with kind of going back to the old school fighters, how did you score Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler?
Ooh, Sugar. I have a score fight, but I thought Hagler beat him.
Hagler beat him.
It was a close fight, it was a close fight, and I seen that Sugar Ray Leonard was able to, I think, rally at the end of every round. So I think that had a lot to that had a lot to do with the judges' decision in that round, because I think Angelo Dundee would tell him like 30 seconds like that, and Leonard would just go off the last 30 seconds, and then he would win the round, take the round. So, but you can't discredit what Hagler did all up until that time, So I think Hagler did enough,
I think so too, man. I get pissed off when everybody says, "Yeah, Ray Leonard won," like, because Hagler didn't fight like he normally fights. Like, people always say, like, "Oh yeah, well, Sugar Ray," they basically give him credit for surviving.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd have to watch that fight again. It's been a while. Probably been like 6-7 years since I watched that fight. But from what I remember, it was a close fight. But I thought Hagler had edged it.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. They say sometimes, like, they say, like, when you get a little bit of success in life or in boxing, sometimes your life can change. Like, has life changed at all for you since you became world champion? Like I guess, do more people recognize you, or or like girls hitting you up on Instagram? Like, how has anything really changed for you since you became champion?
Yeah, definitely. With this COVID going on,
What would you say has changed?
With this COVID going on, it's hard to kind of tell, because I feel like if I was at a boxing event, they would stop and take more pictures with me. But since there's nothing going on and you can't go to the fights, people can't recognize who you are as much. But every now and then, people are like, "Oh, good fight." People go in the gym and they're like, "Good fight" and all that. But I'm not to the point where people are stopping me outside of the, like, in the public. They're not stopping me out in public yet. So that'll come. I'm pretty sure it'll come in time. But like I said, if I was at a boxing event, there's a lot of boxing fanatics. They'll all know who I am. But my followers went up, a little bit on Instagram. I've heard, a lot of people are talking. I haven't been to New Mexico yet, but a lot of people are talking about me in New Mexico. And pretty much everyone knows who I am over there in Albuquerque. There is a few even girls hitting me up on Instagram. You know how that goes. I'm or something like that. But they're there. But that's the perks of being champion.
Yeah, it's good to be king.
Yeah.
What is what is Simba and the Lion King said? I can't wait to be king, and you're doing your thing, man. You champion.
Yeah. I actually got the belt right here.
There you go. Here. Flash it up, Angelo. There you go. That's the WBO title for y'all that don't know.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's something I worked my whole life for, and this is not just one that I want. I want many. So, with that being said, I'm gunning for them all. I never trying to get stagnant or anything like that. A lot of fighters, they get a world title, they get a little bit of money, and then they let off the gas. Me, I'm gonna press the gas even more.
I believe it, man. I believe it. Do you have any dream fights? Like, because there's a lot of skilled fighters around your weight. Like, I know, like, Inoue is at 118. Maybe he might come up to 122. Like, would that be a fight maybe one day down the road if you really establish yourself as a guy in this weight class? Maybe you can do a super fight with Inoue.
Definitely. That's a fight I want right there. He's got a good body shot. I have a good body shot, and that'd be a great fight, I think. I see Nonito gave him some trouble, so he's a good fighter, but he does get tagged. And I feel like I'll be able to exploit that as well.
Yeah. He's not unbeatable.
Yeah, he's not unbeatable. He hasn't been boxed yet or anything like that. So I'd like to see how he do against a good boxer. But you can't take nothing away from the guy. He's a good fighter. He's sharp. He's precise, and that would be a great fight. I would like to fight him for sure.
Yeah, man. New Mexico versus Japan.
Ooh, yeah.
He's fought a lot of guys, but he ain't fought nobody from Albuquerque.
Yeah, exactly. They could be undefeated. They could be anything, but I bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, man. I know this because I was on your Instagram one time and I saw you came to Miami. You came to my area. You came to South Florida.
Yeah.
And I know you're a big fan of the movie Scarface. Is this true?
That is very true. That is real true. I'm always yesterday me and my dad and my brother were at a Cuban restaurant, and the whole time I was like making Scarface accents, Tony Montana, making his accents and all that. I'm always impersonating.
Can you do one right now?
Oh man, what did I say? I forgot what I said. All in this life. What do you say? Oh.
What if you said?
All I got is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Yeah, that one right there. That was not the best one, but I'll be trying to impersonate them as much as best as possible.
Yeah, man, you got to come out to like your next 3 fights. You should just come out the songs that came out in Scarface.
Push it to the limit. I'm thinking about coming up. Push it to the limit.
You should, man.
Yeah. But that's one of my favorite movies for sure. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't see like they don't see that as more than just like, you know, drugs and all that, and it's about more than that. You know, there's different meaning behind it.
What did you take away from the Scarface movie?
What did I take away?
Yeah, like you said, there's different meanings behind it. What meaning did you take away from the movie? Like, what was your
Just like, you know, just like how, you know, everything's about respect. You know, the respect, how the money got to him. You know, no one's untouchable. Things like that.
Yeah.
He got too arrogant, and with pride comes a fall. So
That's it.
that's a good lesson I learned, that with pride comes a fall. But I also learned that, you know, you could come up from nothing and become something. You know.
Yeah, man. I mean I like how you said that, like pride comes before the fall. And I guess like the whole narrative of the movie is to keep your feet on the ground at all times, stay humble.
Right. Exactly.
Stay humble or be humbled.
True.
And you could definitely apply it to boxing, because there's always somebody around the corner looking to take that belt off of you. And
for sure. Like the Diaz brothers. They're trying
Like
to
who?
take. I
Like
said
who?
the Diaz brothers.
Oh yeah, the Diaz brothers.
Yeah, and there was the other one, the ones that were the ones in the club, the ones that were trying to shoot him. I don't know if those were the Diaz brothers or
Talking about MMA?
no. It's Scarface.
It's Scarface. I don't know, man. I've only watched like once.
Okay.
The
Diaz brothers. I forgot what they were called, but they were the brothers that were trying to kill him.
Yeah, they were okay. Yeah, man, you gotta always look out. Like, what's something interesting about yourself, like aside from boxing, that people don't know but you would like them to know?
Let me see. I like to, you know, I like art. I like art a lot.
Art, really? It's like painting and drawing and stuff like that, or
drawing, graffiti. I used to run the streets when I was younger. Used to do graffiti and all that. I was pretty good at it. You know, I wasn't just like a little tagger or anything like that. I was out in doing graffiti and all that. And that's actually another thing I want to do when I go back to Miami. I want to check out that. I think there's a district. There's a district.
I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah, it's called Wynwood. They have the whole
Wynwood. Exactly, Wynwood.
They have the whole Art Basel thing there. Every year there's a thing called the Art Basel. It's a huge thing.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, I want to go to that.
You know what? If you go, I'll go with you, because I've been living here my whole life. I've never gone to it. Never gone.
Really? All right, bet.
It's never gone. Yeah,
because you're gonna have to show me all the spots in Miami.
I'll show you some of the spots in Miami. I'll take you to Miami. I'll take you to Dania, even though I know you can't say Dania, but
okay. All right. We'll go there. We'll go to show me all the good spots, all the good eating spots.
Yeah, all the ice cream and pizza and Cuban spots.
All right, definitely, for sure. Because one of these days, you know, I'm gonna have a house up there in Miami.
Oh yeah, is that like on the checklist? That's on the bucket list.
That's on the bucket list for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Miami's cool. I've always had a thing for Miami.
I mean, we got a lot of boxing gyms here too. Like people don't know it, but like South Florida is like pretty underrated for boxing. There's like,
is it really? Because I know is Muhammad Ali's. I know he has a gym out there. It's the Fifth Street.
That's Fifth Street Gym. Yeah, that's like the most famous gym. But like there's another gym in Miami called Mundo Boxing Gym. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No, I haven't.
Mundo Boxing Gym is it's ran by Pedro Diaz. I don't know if you know Pedro Diaz, but he's the
he used to train Miguel Cotto, right?
He trained Cotto, he trained Rigondeaux, he trained Gamboa at the early stage of his career. He trains Philip Hergovic now, Ivan Barancek, Zhu Can. You know, he trained a lot of fighters. So.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I've heard of. I know who he is.
Yeah. There's tons of gyms, and you'd be surprised.
Yeah, definitely. I want to go out there. You know, maybe get some sparring.
Yeah. If you come, I'll put you on game. I know I'll plug you in. I know everything's
right,
at.
Cool. All right, bet.
Absolutely, but Angelo, I'm probably gonna wrap it up. But like any message to the boxing world about yourself and just your career, anything you want to get across people out there?
Basically, just keep a lookout for me. That's this title right here is just one of many, and I'm gonna keep improving. I'm gonna keep showing people what the abilities that I have, and just tune in for my next fight. It's gonna be a great one.
There you have it. Tune in for his next fight. I mean, is it gonna be Fulton? Do you think it'll be Fulton?
I'm sure it's gonna be Fulton. We got that contract signed already, so it should be Fulton.
Okay, so Stephen Fulton versus Angelo. That's probably the next one. Angelo, I appreciate you, bro. Anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome. And yeah, man, I'll be watching your career.
Sounds good, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.